Well, the Dynamite things, which is things you're asking about, the story is so horrible, people hate it. And I tell the story all the time. I did it one day in rehearsal, just a little tiny one. John Rich, who was our director, who had done like the Dick Van Dyke, all this kind of stuff like that, a veteran, but at that time was doing All in the Family. And we had done our pilot, which really wasn't a pilot because we were already on the air, but we had done our first couple of shows. Norman didn't like the direction of the show, how it was directed, so he fired the director, brought in John Rich. We did the Dynamite thing. John Rich says, "Hey, that's it, man." And I went, "What's it?" He says, "Dynamite." He says, "I want you to do big dynamite like this." And he showed me how he wanted me to. And he said, "I'm going to set up an ISO camera, and we're going to make that like a phrase, man. It's going to be great." And I'm saying, "What are you talking about?" He says, "This is going to be unbelievable." He says, "People are going to be shouting this out of cars, out of windows. You're going to be able to get hats, shirts, everything." And go, "What is this cat talking about?" He says, "Yeah, it's going to be great." So he set up an ISO camera, and I did it one day, big. And Norman Lear's like, "What is going on? What are we doing?" And he says, "Norman, this is going to be one of the biggest parts of this show. This is going to really make it happen." And he said to me, he says, "I got 3 daughters. I want to send them to college. I'm going to send them to college with that word dynamite." And he says, and I did it. And in 3 weeks, people started just saying it. They just went, crazy with the whole deal. And it was all John Rich's thing. He was the guy who said, "We must make this happen." And doggone it, he's the guy who came up with the whole thing. I just did it fooling around. I wasn't even thinking about it. But that was John Rich's whole idea. And I saw John Rich about 4 or 5 years ago. He says, "My last daughter just graduated from Brown University with a master's degree. Thank you." So that's that. And John Rich went on to produce a show with Henry Winkler called MacGyver. So he's that guy. So he's the guy who really pushed it. And I don't think anybody in the cast or Norman Lear knew anything about this. And this was something that John just pushed and pushed and pushed, and he just said, "This is going to happen." So he was strictly on a monetary basis with this word, and it really went through the roof. I had a whole bunch of stuff because I was always working with words. I saw an old bit on Don Knotts, and his daughter was talking about how he would go in a room and just start working with words. I was the same way. You work with words, you say it, and you hope people catch on to it. What can I say?